The dangers of the world today, in terms of terrorism, sectarian conflict, civil wars, strife, so forth, are really presenting a whole set of new challenges.
The demilitarized zone that sits along the entire width of the Korean Peninsula is the most militarized border in the world today.
It's one of the major flashpoints in the world for potential war to break out.
It would be really hard to get into the head of Paul Bremer and say, why did you do de-Baathification as well as the disbanding of the Iraqi army? I think looking back is very easy to say this was a very dumb idea.
The mistake, which I made, was to turn the implementation of this very narrowly drawn decree over to Iraqi politicians.
ISIS takes advantage of some of the ungoverned spaces and some of the opportunities that the instability in Syria created for them.
Nearly 20 million people have crossed borders to flee extreme poverty or fighting around the globe.
It's shown statistically and self-evidently that in Africa, when the rains fail because of increased drought or heat waves or random climate and weather shifts, there's more conflict. People move in desperation.
And while many people may think, oh goody, longer summers, it's much more basic than that. And it really changes everything. It changes the rising of the seas, it changes the melting of the Arctic ice, it changes the climates that we're all used to.
It's always time for UN reform. It's been time for UN reform since 1945. It's an institution designed well for the circumstances of 1945 and at various times in history inappropriate.
The United Nations is a standard setter. It creates the norms, it creates the principles around which state behavior and individual behavior within states is going to be judged.
Now what you have is really a geopolitical Chernobyl that is just spewing instability that affects the rest of the world.